Folks, this is a very, very important story. This is a really important story here. So, as you guys know, the USDA is very, very crucial in inspecting our meat. Okay, it's very, very crucial in inspecting our meat, so they're not going to make us sick, right? So they're going to make sure inspect them, make sure they're clean, make sure they're not dirty, make sure they're correctly made and everything. And that used to be a big problem in the pre-time of the USDA, obviously. So what we're looking at here is there are some food inspectors who are coming forward saying that these new changes to the inspection system are basically going to make it much more likely for people to get sick and for there to be all kinds of pathogens, which are things that get you sick. And it goes on here, Says two federal inspectors warned that mystery meat and other unwanted materials won't contaminate pork throughout the U.S. under the new meat inspection rules currently being used in a pilot program. Food Safety and Inspection Service inspectors Anthony Vallone and Jill Maurer told NBC News that they filed whistleblower disclosure forms with the Office of Special Counsel about their concerns with the reduction of the required number of federal inspectors at plants. The consumers being duped, adding that the meat may be more likely to contain feces, sex organs, toenails, bladders, and unwanted hair. Ugh. A pilot program for the adjusted rules for pork lines has been implemented at 5 plants. 5 inspectors who worked at these plants talked to NBC News, while 4 others submitted affidavits with similar concerns. NBC notes that none of the inspectors it talked to say they themselves allowed unsafe meat to pass inspection. This continues across the nation. When you open your package of meat, what you're going to get for a pathogen is going to be a mystery. So, it says typically 7 federal inspectors check the meat for defects, but under the new rules, the required number would drop to 2 or 3 with more experience but less hands-on time with the meat. The plant's own employees would be instructed to check the meat directly without any required federal training. The rules would also eliminate the maximum speed of meat lines, giving less time for inspection. So that means that the meat lines can just go super fast without them really being able to check it. And in the interview, he basically says you've got like 2.6 seconds to look at each carcass, which, to examine in 2.6 seconds, that's a very short time, right? That's an incredibly short time. And, he says you can't really see very much in that time. And there are 35 more plants that are supposed to do it. Those 40 plants together produce 92% of the pork that, that Americans eat. Man, that is really scary. And this goes to show you a more overarching point of regulation, right? The government is supposed to regulate stuff. There's a problem when you have someone with an ideology of deregulation, obviously being the head of regulation. And it's also really bad when you have somebody who's of the industry who is doing regulation. So like Scott Pruitt, who had sued the EPA and was this guy who was, basically a polluter. And then you have the guy, CEO of ExxonMobil, Rex Tillerson, become the Secretary of State. Like, it's crazy. Ajit Pai being in the FCC when he's, part of the industry. You don't allow industry to regulate the industry because then obviously you're going to get this deregulation. And people are going to suffer, man. So eating pork now, probably not a good idea. And in this clip that they show, at the end, they actually say that they're going to start doing this for beef. So it may be time to turn vegan or just stick to chicken because there's going to be a lot of outbreaks of this. And this is incredibly unfortunate, and it goes to show you the importance of regulations, especially regulating our food. You guys know there's all kinds of like E. coli breakouts and random stuff like that. Super, super important. And just more damage that this administration is doing to our health, our society, and our country, and our people as a whole.